guys, it's Jessica from Peace Love Books, and today with a video that is kind of like books that should have made the Goodreads Choice Awards / 2025 releases you need to make sure you're reading. And this is for anybody that is currently building their TBR for the rest of the year. These are books that came out this year that I'm like, you need to read. These are because I did not feel like doing a reaction video to the Goodreads Choice Awards because I was basically spot on, save for like 2-3 books that would be on the Goodreads Choice Awards. I'm tired of them having the same authors, but the reality is what I said in my predictions video is that that's going to reflect what publishing is putting money behind. So I have other books that some are the same, but some are my favorites and books that you should be reading. So I have a lot of contemporary. I have some fantasy that I think is really good, some paranormal, and I'm going to save some sapphic romances for the end because I do love sapphic romances, and we had 0 queer books, I believe, on that list. And I've noticed I've been picking up way more sapphic than romances. I don't know if I've read any romances in the year. I've just been primarily reading sapphic. I do have a couple on my Christmas reading list, and then Samantha, my friend from Books with Samantha, has sent me a few that I definitely want to read before the end of the year, but these are all traditionally published that came out that you need to read. We're gonna start with the first one, which I loved, and that is Not Safe for Work by Nisha J. Tooley. This one was like the perfect summer romance, and it's very hate to love. It is a workplace romance, but they have to go on this company retreat together, and they accidentally have to share a room. And so it's so forced proximity, and I really loved the hero in this one. He had a lot for him where a lot of people thought he got a job over her because I think his like dad works for the company or something, but he has a secret passion of his that he would love to pursue, and it was just so fun. I really like this, and you see a lot of being a woman in a male-dominated industry in this one as well. I definitely need to read more of Nisha J. Tooley's romances because I just had so much fun. I think I listened to this one on audio, and for sure think you should read it if you haven't yet in 2025. And then this author I adore, and this is my favorite book by her that she came out with this year, and I didn't like the other one that she came out with that's actually on the Goodreads Choice Awards, but you cannot leave off a ghost Christmas romance. Are you kidding me? Good Spirits by B.K. Borson is a Ghost of Christmas Past romance. The heroine is obsessed with Christmas, and the hero is sent to like haunt her and show her her past, and he's like, I don't understand why I'm showing you your past because there's nothing bad. He's like, this is not right, like something is really wrong. So you have to figure out why he's haunting her, and he falls so hard, so hard for her. I loved this so much. It is so good. So highly recommend picking this one up, especially for the holiday season. If you haven't yet, please pick this up. One that I'm very happy made the list, and I was between this one and her other release because I did really like her release that came out recently, but I loved King of Envy. If you, sorry my lighting is being weird, but if you love A Morally Grey Hero, if you love like Christian Harper by Anna, you will love King of Envy. It's also very chunky, but I love it so much. Vuk does not speak, and he will do anything to take down anybody who does anything to our heroine. And I love her. She's a model, and she's engaged to his best friend. So I love a good angsty romance as well, very off limits. There's reasons for that engagement, and Vuk is a morally great hero who is into some shady things, but he's not a bad guy. So I loved this so much. I think it's one of my favorites in the series, and it's like 500 pages. But I really love The Defender as well. So you can't go wrong with either of Anna's releases this year. I think they're so good. The Defender though is much more like fun and lighthearted. It is a coach's daughter romance for soccer, and they become roommates. So whatever you're in the mood for, but I feel like if you like those kind of mafia-esque, this felt very mafia without being mafia, you would love this. This was also the year of second chance romances for me. It's my favorite genre. I love it. If you love second chance, you're in the right place. But Left of Forever by Tara DeWitt blew me away. This is a divorced couple romance, which I love. And this one, they have to take their son to college, and I love epistolary romances, and I especially love it when they don't know who they're writing to. So the beginning of this, he knows he's writing to her. She does not know she's writing to him. She thinks it's just some random firefighter that she like sent cookies to, but it was her ex-husband. And so they have to take their son to college together, and so they decide to go and kind of like reminisce and talk and like see if there's anything to salvage. So very forced proximity. Absolutely love this. If you love Second Chance, read this, please. I did not love the first book in the series, but this one, so good. If you want some romantic suspense in your life, I would actually recommend All the Missing Pieces by Catherine Cowles. This came out in January. Given everything 5 stars she released 4 books, but this one I think is a great place to jump in for her. So if you're looking to start Catherine Cowles, read this one. This one also, if you love true crime and you do love more suspense in your romance, this is absolutely perfect. So this one follows a true crime podcaster, and the beginning starts out with her twin sister being taken and going missing when they're in college, and she's never found again. So she has dedicated her life to taking her van around and solving cold cases, and she's really good at it. So she arrives in the small town, and they're immediately very protective of the case she's trying to solve, which she thinks might have to do with her sister. It is with this woman who was abducted. She escaped, and so she's like, I want to talk to her and like figure out her case, but the sheriff, especially in town, is very, very like, you do not mess with our people, we don't want you here. But it's their romance, and they end up teaming up together to solve this crime and see if it relates back to her sister. This one, the twist I think was the best in a lot of her books. I never guessed the twist, and in this one I was shocked. So I love her book so much. I really loved leaning into the true crime podcast aspect of this as well. It was so, so, so good. Highly recommend. And we have a witchy one that I absolutely fell in love with, and that is A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. I think we waited over a year for this to come out because the first book blew up, and I read that. I think, did I read that this year? No, I read that last year. Oh, I know I started it last year because I was in Europe when I started it, but I might not have finished it until this year. And then this one came out, and I knew immediately I had to read it, and I think these are just so whimsical and amazing. And if you have not read them yet, please do. I think they're so worth the hype. This one, our heroine lost her magic. She did something really not good, and so they take her magic away, and she runs this like magical inn that literally has a dead chicken that's like a skeleton, because she did bring someone back to life, and it reanimated this dead chicken as well. And she also has a friend who's a fox, and she is just running this inn, and this inn is enchanted to only accept like lost souls who really need the inn. So it's a very eclectic group of people. And then our hero shows up with his sister, I want to say, and I think it's his sister. I don't think it's his daughter. I think they're siblings. And he is a librarian, and he is tasked to see if they are trying to do dangerous magic and help her figure out how to get her magic back. So I really, really love this. I think that both of these, if you have not read them yet, please do. They're very cozy, but also very found family, and the romance is very sweet as well. One I just finished this month, so I did talk about it in my mid-month wrap-up, is It's Different This Time. I did not know this was a debut novel. This was amazing. This is a second chance romance in New York City. I love New York. I went there in July or August, maybe June. I went there this summer, and I try to go like once a year now because I'm obsessed. I love it. My sister and I see like 5 shows in one weekend. Like, we love New York so much. Go shopping, and I literally want to hop on a plane and go because this is so atmospheric. And she is an actress, so she acts in some Broadway plays, and she and this guy end up meeting and living in this brownstone together. They get a really good deal on it. It's like $400 a month in rent, which is insane, and they become best friends, and something happens. And I think it's been 5 years, and they have not spoken or seen each other in 5 years, and they're both called to this lawyer's office, and they're told they're being given the brownstone that they had lived in, and they can either sell it for like $4 million or keep it, but they have to wait a month to make that decision. So she now has to come back. She had left to go to LA. She is back now. She has to stay for a month, so she decides to audition for Les Mis, and he owns his own restaurant now, and they're kind of falling back in love with one another. And then we do have time jumps between the past and the present and what went wrong. You love dual timeline where we go back and forth, and you slowly unravel what went wrong as they're slowly unraveling what went wrong in the present and addressing those things. You will love this. It is so, so, so good, and if you love a New York setting, you will love this. I adored it, and I think everyone needs to read this one. Okay, I have 2 more contemporary, and then I will go into my sapphic romances, and then I will go into my fantasy. Oh, and I guess this one's not fantasy. This one's like a romantic suspense, but we do have Unloved by Peyton Corinne. I think if you love super, super, super emotional romances, you need to read Peyton Corinne. I loved Unsteady. This one came out this year, and I'm so excited for Unbound. Unloved is our heroine is not in the best relationship, and she lets herself put up with it because she thinks she doesn't deserve better. And so her current situationship is horrendous, and she is a tutor, and she's tutoring our hero who is a hockey player, and he never wants to be a burden to anybody. He literally will never ask for help because he doesn't think that anyone would want to go out of their way to help him. And so they become friends and slowly fall in love, and it's very much unloved because like they never feel like they're worthy of more from anybody, and they learn their worth with one another, and it is so good. It is a college romance, which I don't read a lot, but so emotional, and I love a good hockey romance too. So if you have not read Peyton Corinne yet, you have to. It is so good. Then one, I'm technically cheating, but it was a re-release. I have 2 re-releases that came out again this year that came out last year. So If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia came out and it blew up for good reason. This one is so good. This is a 1990s fall romance with a woman who is back in this small town to run the inn after her mother passed away, and the hero who is a baker, and he's a single dad to 3 girls, and it is just nostalgic perfection. I was obsessed with this when it came out last year, and it has been like sold out in paperback this year. Everybody's picking it up. It is just like a cozy warm hug and the perfect fall read. So if you want that nostalgia that I feel like we're all kind of yearning for, pick this one up. It is so good. Then the one that I didn't realize I had was Nightshade. I do believe this was a re-release as well, and this one is a romantic suspense. Very dark academia. If you like that more atmospheric feel, you will really like this one. Our heroine is going to this prestigious school that is very interesting to me. I still don't fully understand this school. You're put into different like houses, and like you don't get along with certain ones. You kind of compete with certain ones, but she is here because her parents died in, I think, a helicopter crash, and she knows it was on purpose at this school, and she knows this one person's responsible and runs into his son. And so her and the son also have to fake date at some point, and they're around each other a lot and trying to figure out what happened to her parents. So if you like the dark academia setting and definitely a darker kind of romance with fake dating thrown in, I think you would like this one. Okay, then we have 3 sapphic romances, which you know I love sapphic romances. So the first one is like kind of a little bit paranormally, so it's got a little magic into it, but Backhanded Compliments is a sapphic tennis romance where they are like the ultimate rivals. They compete to be the best, and it's really much like the one that's used to being the best that loses. She is the one that kind of is holding them apart from being together. In this world, you are born with your mates, like your fated mates, name on like your wrist or like tattooed somewhere, so they know they have each other's names tattooed on them, and they had assumed it was each other, but like they're trying to avoid it because they are rivals and they don't want to like each other, but they do realize they are fated mates, like they are, and they can't get over the fact though that they are rivals, especially the one that lost, and she's like, I need to not let anything distract me, I need to be the best. And if you like that kind of rivalry tennis romance, you should read this one. I did really like it. Then we have Bed and Breakup by Susie Dumond. This one takes place at a bed and breakfast, and it is a, I don't know if they were married or if they got divorced, but it's a second chance romance. So they were together, they ran this really successful inn together, and then one of them left. It's insinuated cheating was involved, but that's never been addressed. So they left to pursue like their dreams of being on TV as a chef. So one of them is a stained glass artist, the other one bakes or cooks or something. They're in the food industry, and they're both back at this inn because one of them is trying to get work done on her art, and then the other one is broke and has no job left anymore. So they're here. They decide to rebuild their bed and breakfast because it got turned into an Airbnb, I think it was, and it's just like cookie cutter, white walls, grays, and stuff like that. And they're like, it's lost all of its life, let's renovate. And it's bringing back old memories of when they built up the inn in the first place, and they fall in love again. If you like second chance and you like just like this bed and breakfast kind of home renovation romance, I think you would like this one. And another second chance romance, I love second chance romances, is Love and Focus, which is a photographer and a journalist. And so they actually had fallen in love, I believe, in college, and then one of them left without a word and like never came back. She had to go back home, and so now they are reconnected at her job. I think she has like this piece she's writing about these couples and going through all these different couples and asking them what it's like to be in love and like what they think the secret to relationships is. And the other one is hired to be a photographer on this job, so they have to be around each other a lot, and then they have to address why one of them left, and they're reconnected. So if you like a second chance romance, forced proximity because they work together, you would really like Love and Focus. All right, then I think I have 4 more. we're not even close to being done. So the next one is a new Ali Hazelwood that I'm so obsessed with and I need more people to read, and that is Bound by Ali Hazelwood. This one I believe came out on Spotify and then it released recently in audio on other platforms, so I listened to it on Audible. It is so good. It is short. It's a 7-hour audiobook, and the heroine works in rare artifacts like books and antiques, and she actually studies how to tell if one is real or not, and then kind of gets drawn into forgery. And someone figures out she is forging these pieces and decides to talk to her about it. And that's all I can say. And I can tell you it's paranormal, and it is so good. It is a romance, and I was obsessed. I was simply obsessed. I listened to it all in one day yesterday. I couldn't put it down. You need to read it. Then I'm going to talk about A Pack for Autumn. So this one, I don't remember when it came out. I read it for the first time this year and was absolutely obsessed, but it was recently picked up. Okay, so it came out in 2024, but it came out paperback recently, books 1 and 2, and I am simply obsessed with these. I read the first one, and this one she owns a lighthouse. She recently moved to this town. She's an Omega, and she's running this lighthouse. This one guy's obsessed with her. He sees her going by into town every day. He like lightly stalks her, and then they smell her, and they're like, that's our scent match. And she matches, I think, with these 3 heroes, and 2 of them are very hesitant, and one of them, she's actually in the lighthouse that his grandparents owned, and he is terrified of love because when one person died, the other one quickly followed, and he's like, I don't want to live like that. I don't want to lose someone and never be able to like face life again. And so we have some hesitant mates involved, but it's so cozy, so cute, so fall. I loved it. Please read this if you haven't yet and you like Omegaverse. Why choose? I'm reading book 2 before the year ends because I have to. And the last 2 are fantasies that I think are absolutely worth the hype. Well, this one's technically dystopian, but the other one is a fantasy that I'm just like, yes, please read these. Like these I have not stopped thinking about that came out this year that I think are 100% worth the hype. Silver Elite, absolutely worth the hype. This one's the more dystopian one. She grew up with an uncle figure, and in this society, if you have powers, you are literally killed. She does have powers, and I think they're mind powers, and she ends up catching the attention of the government because she ends up shooting someone with really great precision and skill to save someone's life. And so, or I think it was, I don't remember what it was being attacked by. Something was being attacked, she shot it, and they're like, hey, why are you good at that? And so then they take her to train to be part of this like elite force, and during this time she has to hide the fact that she has powers, and it goes from there. So good. I cannot wait for the next book. I was sucked in, could not stop thinking about this, and absolutely worth the hype. Like if you have not read this yet, please do. And the last one that I think is 100% worth the hype is Dire Bound. This one, again, I was like, I can't put this down. I can't stop thinking about it. This romance is everything. This is a society where you are bound to these dire wolves and you are being trained, but like during training, they're not afraid to like kill you off if you're not doing well. And so the heroine decides to join because her sister is taken in the beginning, and like children are being taken constantly, and she's like, I need to go join the army so that I can go out and find my sister. And so she joins, and she doesn't know though that like, I think it's like every so often they do this kind of ceremony, and she doesn't know that it's gonna happen. She goes through this whole journey to being bound to a wolf, and she does, and things go from there, and it is so good. It is so good. I was obsessed, loved it, and I can't wait for book 2, which I think comes out next year. And those are, I think, 17 books, 17 books that you have to read before the end of the year if you haven't yet. Please read these. I was obsessed with them. I think they are some of the best books of the year this year. I can't stop thinking about them, and they are ones that I think I gave either 4.5 or 5 stars. I just love them so much. So you can't go wrong reading any of these. I feel like I had a good amount of different genres, different subgenres for whatever you might be looking for or in the mood for. Let me know in the comments down below if you have anything that you're like, read this now. You have to before the end of the year. I can't stop thinking about it. Let me know your recommendations. If you have made it this far, leave me a camera emoji in the comments to let me know you watched for Love and Focus. And that is all I have. As always, thank you so much for watching and have a good day. Bye.